104.3 ESPN Northwest Florida.
Did you buy the flashlight and the batteries?
Yes.
Did you make sure we're not missing anything in the first aid kit?
Yup.
Did you go through the plan with the kids again?
Yes.
The more you prepare today, the more you'll be able to reduce the devastating effects of a tornado, an earthquake, a power outage, or any other disaster. Get a kit, make a plan, be informed. Visit ready.gov.
Atlanta Braves play here. WGSX Lynn Haven, WTOT, W271DM Mariana. Powered by Pepsi. ESPN Northwest Florida. Rise and shine, campers. It's a brand new day.
What a lovely morning.
Good morning, starshine.
You seem happy this morning.
Morning, everybody. Thanks for coming in early.
The Coach James Hale Show is live and local. Live from the J. Michaels Studio. 104.3 ESPN Northwest Florida.
Get past the people, get past the hit me.
Hit me, 104.3. It is Wednesday. That means Bay High School Day. Hopefully, Jeremy Brown will be on at 7:15. Huge football game this week. Bay versus Mosley. It's Wednesday. That means Brian's with us this morning. Brian, how you doing?
Doing well, Coach. Doing well.
How did you I got a text when you were gone about the dive team, swim team, and I forgot to mention it. Mm-hmm. They sent it to me, so I apologize for that, but that's the reason I need you here more often.
Coach has not been feeling himself for the past couple of days.
No, I don't know.
So that's his excuse.
I walked, I tell you, I think it was Monday. Today's Wednesday, right? Monday around 3:30.
See, you don't even know what day it is.
Well, that's normal.
Yeah. 3:30, got through about 4:50, and I walked fast, and I said, man, this doesn't feel right. Got in that night and started just feeling really dizzy, not feeling well. Thought I was going to pass out. And Julie goes, well, insurance is okay, so go to bed.
She double-checking your life insurance policy.
I said, should I go to the hospital? Really, y'all laugh, but I said, should I go to the hospital? She goes, let me go check. I look her, she's back in the file room looking at my life insurance. She says, no, we're good. You don't need to go to the hospital. So anyway, you go to bed, wake
Sit
up.
down,
the
shut
next
up.
day, I was
Quit
dizzy.
complaining.
I was dizzy again last night, so I don't know. Are you putting stuff in this drink you're giving me?
You said cocaine's a hell of a drug. That's what you said, so
It
you know.
is every day.
I am here simply to implement anything and everything you may need. That's what a good producer does.
Just to throw in there, because you brought it up earlier, they have another dive meet tonight.
Okay, good.
And then the swimmers will have their second meet of the season tomorrow night. So.
Everybody's doing well?
Yeah, first one went well. We're a little worried about the weather, but got everything in just fine at the first meet. It was pretty close, and so we'll get it fired up again here for the second one. And then next Saturday, they have the big Panama City Beach Invitational. They'll have teams coming in from Pensacola to Tallahassee, so that'll be a big one.
Good. Bring that money in here to Bay County.
Yeah, while I'm watching the Alabama-Texas game.
Oh, can't wait. 11 o'clock kickoff, Fox Network, the big one, 2 weeks away. And we're only 3 days away from college football. Matter of fact, tomorrow night we got a lot of games. I'll cover them one more time for you. Got it written down somewhere. But before, let's get a little bit of local things in here. T.J. Jackson is the new basketball coach at Arnold High School. What do we know about him? I don't know hardly anything. He was an outstanding college player, outstanding high school basketball player out of Moss Point, Mississippi.
Great athletes over there.
Now, I guess he's coming out of Moss Point, Mississippi. You know where else that would be? Yeah, Moss Point. That's great. Yeah. I know all about Moss Point. All right, 4-time All-State performer. That's pretty impressive. He ended up fourth all-time leading scorer, the number one ranked high school player in Mississippi. After high school, he went to Dillard University, where he earned All-American honors. Man, that's pretty good. He was the Gulf Coast Atlantic Conference Freshman of the Year. He would he's done a lot of good things. Good gracious, good job. Good job, Rick Green, Brent Smith over there at Arnold High School, bringing in some big, they lost a great coach. I really like the coach they had there last year, and he did a wonderful job. And now Coach Jackson looks like he's got everything lined up to have a good year for Arnold. Proud of him. Glenn Manley, no at school. What does that mean, no at school?
There's another guy that's having a little brain fog this week.
I asked Dr. Manley. I said, but I forgot to call him last night. This morning about 6, I said, Bay Day, you coming in? No, at school. I said, why not? You don't work full-time. Anyway, hopefully we'll have Coach
I
Brown
told you,
on.
I'm amazed he has missed the opportunity to come in here and remind you of
after
last week.
After Bay getting my Marlins 37-7, you think he'd been here laughing but no, he's pretty good about that kind of stuff. But anyway, congratulations to Coach Jackson over the new basketball coach at Arnold High School. I think about basketball. I still think about my boy over at Rutherford. He does such a wonderful job. But I tell you what, Bay's gotten better. Mosley got better. Basketball's getting better. Baseball's outstanding. Football got great coaches here.
The facilities that they play at are getting better slowly, one by one.
Rick Green took me around, showed me the new facilities. Arnold, they got a new field house for the girls softball, baseball. It's incredible.
I knew they were working on them. I haven't seen
beautiful. Oh my God! If I was a softball player, I'd definitely go look over there. Yeah. All right, you were talking about Mississippi. Flooding's devastating the city of Jackson. Heck, this Mississippi in general, parts of Mississippi. Anyway, Deion Sanders, Jackson State. His team had to leave campus and they had to find a place to practice. Go into a hotel. They got a big game coming up this Sunday in Miami against Florida A&M. And I will give another shout-out to Florida A&M. They were down players. They played really hard against North Carolina, gave them all they wanted the first half, and I think they kind of got a little tired in the second half.
This thing over at Florida A&M sounds ugly.
Yeah, I didn't get into all that.
I don't know all of it. I was trying to read it quickly, which I can barely read as it is, but essentially like 80 football players signed on a letter basically that the administration is the ones who screwed up everything in terms of the eligibility issues from last week. And if you remember, it was kind of one of the things we heard about LSU a couple years back with that running back who came in, that he had been given bad counsel on it from the academic advisors. And so but when you get that many people to sign on to something, there's probably something to it. So I got a feeling somebody may lose their job over this one.
Yeah, we will keep you informed about that. But that coach did a great job having those guys ready to play against North Carolina. But Deion will have his kids ready to play. That's a big game down in Miami Sunday. There's another pretty big game in New Orleans Sunday also, Florida State, LSU, getting closer and closer to that football game. Jackson is the largest city in Mississippi. The water treatment plant was failing. I don't know.
It's failing for years.
It's old. They hadn't done much work to it. It's not safe. The water's hardly coming out of the spigot. It's not safe to consume right now. So they got all kind of issues over there at Jackson State in the city of Jackson.
They've got some of that. We're familiar with this obviously after Michael, but they don't have the water. They certainly don't have anything drinkable, but they don't have any water to flush toilets. They don't. I mean, there's certain areas of Jackson that is really, really bad.
Yeah. So anyway, I feel bad for all those wonderful people over in the state of Mississippi, in that part of the country. All right, quarterback rankings, the new ones that come out. This is I think it was ESPN or maybe CBS power rankings of the quarterbacks. Number 2, guess who they are? I don't care what it is.
I know who the top 2 are. I just don't know the order.
It's crazy. Everything in college football, these 2 schools, these 2 programs, these 2 players are 1 and 2 just about every category. But right now, they got Bryce Young, Alabama, and Ohio State, Stroud. Both of them are the 1 and 2 in the nation as far as quarterbacks are 1 and 2 going after the highest. Matter of fact, the Ohio State quarterback's got a little bit more betting odds in his favor than Alabama, so we'll see. When's the last time they've had a player? I think the only time we've ever had anyone win back-to-back Heisman trophies was the great
Archie Griffin.
Yeah, running back from where?
Ohio State.
Here we go again, another Buckeye.
When is that game? Saturday?
Buckeyes play Saturday, I want to say 6:30 on Fox Sports. They're playing Notre Dame, the number 5 ranked team, number 2, playing against one another. 17 and a half. I think it's 17. Might be up to 17 and a half. I'm not sure. I think they cover. I just think Ohio State's going to blow them out. I'm just not impressed with. Well, you know what? That's the first time I ever coached. He was a head coach in that bowl game. This is really his team now. We'll see. He said that he didn't even know that they were underdog. He did an interview and he took notes. He said, "Our team will know all about this afternoon." I had no idea. I said, 17 points. What, are you kidding me? So anyway,
Yeah.
they cover.
Who, Notre Dame?
No.
Ohio State?
I think they
probably.
I think they beat them.
Yeah, probably. I mean, the only thing that might is it is the first game, so they may not be clicking on
right
100%. But yeah, I would think they would.
I'm just looking. I want to see Ohio State's defense. How much is a new defensive coordinator? What's his impact been? I think it's going to be really. I think he's going to do a great job there. They got players. I think his schemes are pretty good, pretty complex. I think he'll have them ready to go. That's the only drawback with Ohio State has been their defense. Their offense is going to be maybe the best in the country. I think Alabama has a chance to have one of the great defenses. Special teams, don't know, but they both have great players. They both should have really good special teams. A lot of people think they're both going to go undefeated and they're both going to play for the national championship. I don't know about both of them going undefeated, but there's a good chance they'll both meet each other in the playoffs or for the national championships. That's what everybody's looking forward to. That's what I'm looking forward to. All right, here are your new, latest, up-to-date national championship odds. You know what? How much time we got? I'm going to hold off on that. I might do that with Dr.
You got about 3 minutes, 4 minutes.
Oh, well, I got time then.
You got time.
I got time. All right, coming in
Sure,
number one, Alabama. This is out of Vegas, plus 190. Brian, Ohio State, plus 320. Georgia, plus 350. Fourth is Clemson, plus 1,200. And here's another one. I keep telling everybody, keep an eye on this football team. Southern Cal, plus 220.
2,200.
2,200, yeah. Texas A&M is next, plus 2,500. And then you got Texas and Notre Dame tied with plus 4,000. Then you have Oklahoma, Michigan, plus 5,000. Explain to everybody out there what this means. If you put, let's just say $100 down.
Yeah, it's all going to be based on $100. So theoretically, I mean, there's a slight percentage that goes to the house. That's, you would call it juice or whatever. But essentially, in this scenario, Alabama's plus 190. You're betting $100 to then win 190. So in theory, your $100 would get you back 290 because you'd win back what you bet plus the 190. And then, like I said, there is a little percentage that comes off of that. So it's probably more like 270 or 280 something. But that's how that works. If it's a minus, you would actually have to lay, like if it was minus 190, you'd have to lay 190 down to win 100.
Okay.
So that's how that goes. And generally speaking, your best value bets like this are in the plus 400 to 800 range. And it's funny, there's not any of those.
Right.
If I'm looking at this, clearly there are three teams they like to win. The two best value bets, if you will, for return versus risk, I think Clemson at, 1,200 and Texas A&M at 4,000. Are good value, or A&M's at 2,500. Those are good value bets because, to me, those both have the players that could win a national championship if everything fell right. Yeah, you look at USC. I think USC has a great shot to make the playoffs. I don't think they have the players yet, not the depth of players, to win a national championship. So, if you really wanted to take a flyer, A&M and Clemson would be the ones. But, yeah, you've definitely got three. And Ohio State at 320 is a pretty darn good bet.
Yeah, I think so, too. All right, here's some hot picks right here. This is some guy that's unbelievably correct most of the time. LSU beats FSU by 4. Let me say it again. LSU beats FSU by 4. Georgia crushes Oregon by at least 14. Ohio State kills Notre Dame by 21. Arkansas beats Cincinnati. I'm not sure I buy all these.
Not the one before Cincinnati.
Ohio State kills Notre Dame by 21
points. No, less.
Yeah, I think Georgia will whip Oregon, but it is possible that could be close for a while.
21 points.
I could see LSU winning by 4. I tend to think FSU is going to win that game, but it would not be shocking to me if LSU won by 4.
I go back and
It'd be shocking if LSU won by 30.
I go back and forth. I'm really not sure who I'm going to pick yet, FSU or LSU, because there's so much unknown about LSU. Everything
Well,
they've got going on over there.
I do have some worries about FSU with their linebacking core.
I
we'll
worry
get
about their
into
O
later,
line.
but, yeah.
I worry about the O line somewhat. Well, you got that. We'll get up here later. But that was this is Jared Hale's picks right here. This is what he thinks is going to happen. So we will see how that plays out.
Well, if you go to the game, you can certainly stop in and make a bet or two.
Yeah. Well, we always had tradition. We used to go to the week one for football season. We go to Biloxi or Hard Rock, one of those two, and bet. And he made big money last. I think it was like $1,500 he made last year. Now we only do it one time.
Yeah.
I lost one. Was that when LSU opened up with UCLA?
I think so.
Yeah. Okay, I lost that. Boy,
you homer.
Yeah, I was upset about that when I put some bucks on that one. All right, let's talk about some of the great people we have. You know what today, Brian? What's today? What is today?
World famous
James Michael Spaghetti. Every Wednesday, you will love it, baby. Moon. Anyway, you'll love it. Get out there and try it. It'll be packed out lunch and dinner. J. Michael's Restaurant, Thomas Drive. Hey, if you real estate needs, South Oak, title and closing, Chuck Tucker's #1, not even close. And my good buddy, Stevenson Air Conditioning. It feel good in here right now.
Oh, yeah.
Woo! I don't care how hot it is. You're going to feel fine if you got Stevenson Air Conditioning taking care of you. If it breaks down day or night, call Jason. Call Debbie. Make an appointment. They'll come. Well, you don't have to make an appointment. Just call them. They'll get over there quickly and take care of all issues. Buffalo Rock, thank you guys for everything you do. We'll be right back. You listen to this now. You listen to 102.1 Mariana, 104.3 ESPN Northwest Florida. We're going to be everywhere. We are everywhere.
We're big. We're bad.
Some of you are listening to the voices in your head.
Here we go. 104.3.
Weather in Northwest Florida can change on a dime.
Gale force winds bombarded with heavy rain.
That's why 104.3 ESPN Northwest Florida has the most up-to-date forecast on the Gulf Coast. Hi, this is staff meteorologist Tim Root with over 40 years of experience. I know just how fast we can go from sun and fun to a serious situation. For the most accurate and detailed weather when it matters, rely on 104.3 ESPN Northwest Florida. Good Wednesday morning. Showers at thunderstorms in the forecast for today, tonight, and Thursday. A blend of sun and clouds during the day. Partly to mostly cloudy tonight. The high around 90, the low around 77, and the winds generally from the south at 10 to 15. Water temperature in the Gulf, 87 degrees. This weather forecast has been brought to you by KHS and Associates, your source for affordable health insurance. For 104.3 and 102.1 ESPN Northwest Florida, I'm meteorologist Tim Root.
We know that juicy, cheesy, grilled to perfection burger sounds amazing, but it does sound like something is missing. Pepsi, baby! The yin to this burger's yang. Burgers and Pepsi go together like burgers and Pepsi. This perfect blending of flavors makes every bite of lettuce, every sesame seed on the bun, and every sip of that crisp, refreshing, ice-cold cola a journey to Foodtopia. Burgers, better with Pepsi. That's what I like.
Is that the sound of an ooey gooey, cheesy, crunchy slice of P-I-Z-Z-A? Obviously. But as good as that sounds, we think it can get even better. Oh yeah, that's the sound of a freshly opened fizz-filled Pepsi. The only thing that can take this flavor medley of crunchy dough, mouth-watering cheese, and savory sauce to the next level. How about another bite? Pepsi and pizza sound like a match made in heaven and taste even better. Pizza, better with Pepsi. That's what I like.
I don't always talk to Alabama fans, but when I do, I ask for large fries. Now back to the Coach James Hale Show on 104.3 ESPN Northwest Florida.
And we're back. Do it, James. 104.3 ESPN North. I don't care. I care. It's Wednesday. That means it's Bay's Day right here, 104.3 ESPN Northwest Florida, 102.1 in Mariana. And we're even going to be announcing something else. We're another place we're going to be. But right now, we got one of the top coaches in the state of Florida, and a state championship winning coach, Coach Jeremy Brown. Coach, how you doing this morning?
I'm good, Coach. How you guys doing?
Man, I couldn't be better. I tell you what, I got there when I drove up, it was about halftime. Touchdown, Bay High School. Walked in there. You guys look good. Physically, you guys look really good. Big, physical, good-looking football team. Is this one of the better teams you've coached, or I don't know if I should ask you that or not. But I just did, so I apologize. Put you on the spot, but give the answer you want. Yeah.
Well, I mean, I haven't made any secrets about it. As far as I think everybody in Bay County especially knew this group of kids, this senior class at Bay High. That they all stuck together and stayed together. That they had a chance to to have a pretty good football team their senior years, and I think we do. I mean, I don't know if it's the best team I've coached yet. It's the biggest, strongest, most physical offensive line as a whole that I've ever coached. I mean, we're just really big up front, and kids are athletic and they're strong, and so I mean, as far as that goes, but we've got to, we made some strides. We were a lot better against them in a lot of areas against Arnold than we were against Enterprise, and that's kind of been our mantra. It's just be the best version of Bay High football every Friday night that we can be, and if we're doing that, we're getting better each week. We think at the end of the year we got a chance to be sticking around and hopefully get a playoff game at home.
I tell you what, wherever you've been, what I love what you do is not really the X and O's and that kind of stuff, but what you do with the kids, trying to make them better people, creating value for them in life. The way you have they do things in the community. You did it at Mosley. I watched you do a great job over there, and I keep up with you on Facebook and what the kids have done at Bay High School off the field. And thank you for doing that, loving and caring about those kids like you do. I think that's outstanding. Give us some names, if you don't mind, of some of the players that played really well against Arnold.
I think offensively as a whole, I think, Seth Warren, had a really good night at quarterback. We had two receivers over 100 yards, Jaquez Lee and Will Smiley. Both did some really, really good things with the ball in their hands. But, I mean, the reality is none of that happens without those dudes up front. And we played really, really well up front on the offensive line against Arnold. Jordan Sykes, our big right offensive guard, he had 11 pancakes in the game, and I think it's the first time in my coaching career I've ever had a kid get two pancakes on one play. He pancaked the kid and got up and then pancaked another kid. It was pretty cool to watch a big kid play with that kind of effort on film. But defensively, we felt like our linebackers, Tyrone Boone, Tyvon Carter, and Javante Davis, we thought all those guys did a really, really good job with what Arnold does on offense. We thought they did a great job reading their keys. They made plays, they made tackles, and so, and we were better on special teams. We didn't give up any special teams touchdowns. Our kicker did a really good job kicking his extra points. So, overall, we felt like it was a really, really good team effort.
Talk about your quarterback. I'm watching a little highlights right now. Brian's got the Max Prip films up. He moves around pretty good. He can throw and he can run. A pretty athletic quarterback.
Yeah. He throws it. He's getting better throwing it. We've known that he can. He's a pretty thick kid. He reminds me of the kid we had at Mosley years ago, Michael Maddox. He throws it. He throws it pretty well, but he's really gritty. Really, really tough. One of those guys. Coach, those good, really good high school quarterbacks. You know what I mean?
Right.
And he did a good job the other night. Reading his keys and pulled it when he needed to pull it and handed it off and threw it when he needed to do that. He's getting better. He's getting better each week. He didn't play any quarterback last year. He was strictly a defensive player out at Bozeman, and so he's still. We feel like he's still kind of scratching the surface as far as becoming a quarterback.
Well, you had a great win. You gave up just over 100 yards. You had close to 500 yards total offense. I love it. You played a really good football team in the Jamboree, or Fall Classic, whatever you want to call it. And we all know how Enterprise got 200 players, it seems like, out there. And you bounced back, turned that negative to a positive. The kids played really hard. And now let's get into the big one. This is a huge football game, and there's no secret about it. You used to be the football coach over there. Those kids loved you there. The new coach comes in, does a great job. and now you guys are going to face off this Friday. I know it's not about the coaches; it's about the two teams playing. It's going to be a huge crowd, a lot of interest in this football game. Give us a little breakdown on Mosley. What do you think about them?
Yeah, I mean, I've been saying it since they let me go at Mosley, a year and a half ago, that I thought the staff they brought in was the right staff at the right time. I think that was a group that could come in and take what we had, take what the kind of the foundation we had laid and kind of take it to the next level. Tommy Joe and those guys have done a phenomenal job doing that. As far as the kids, we have an idea of what they. We know what they got over there. Obviously, Randy Pittman's a special, not just a special football player, but a special young man. A really good kid. We still talk. We still have a really good relationship. So it's gonna be interesting being on the other side of the field from him and guys like Jake Pittman and Isaac Paul and some of those guys that played on varsity. That were there when I was there. But I think, like you said, at the end of the day, we told the kids this week, told the coaches yesterday, this is not Coach Brown versus Mosley. This is Bay High versus Mosley. And the reality is the kids over here they haven't beat Mosley since they've been in high school, and they're hungry to do that. And they want to do it. And so I think it's going to be a great environment, a great game. I think there's some things we have to do, really well in order to give ourselves a chance to win. And we're working on those things. And I know those kids at Mosley, they want to, they want to win. And the thing about the kids at Mosley is that they're not worried about it being Coach Brown. Those kids are used to winning. And they want to, they just want to, just another football game. They want to come out and win. And so, we had a really good practice Monday, or another really good practice yesterday. The Lightning got us a little bit yesterday, so we had to come off the field, and then we try to get back out there, and that kind of deal. But I think the matchup, offensively is, you've got Randy, you've got Cree Ross, the running back. The Chima kid's a really good ball player. They're good up front, so we're going to have to be really, really sound on defense, and not let them take the top off the defense and keep everything in front of us and tackle well. And then I think for us, offensively. We've got to be able to line up and run the football. I mean, we're big up front. We know that. It's not a secret. You can see it on film, and we've got to be able to win the line of scrimmage. You know what I mean? Mosley does a good job of loading the box and pressuring, and I mean they've got two Division I defensive backs in Cameron Keys and Isaac Paul, and they can man you, and so our guys are going to have to win some one-on-one battles. So it's a pretty intriguing matchup on paper, and I think the team that goes out Friday night and doesn't make mistakes, doesn't get beat deep on defense, doesn't turn the ball over on offense, will probably like the results.
Yeah, I remember back in the 70s, we'd go play Alabama, and everybody was intimidated by them. They said, it's like they're up 7 points because of those red uniforms and Bear Bryant on the sideline. And Mosley's been the kind of the Bay County bully in football recently, and I just don't think the Bay High kids are going to be intimidated by Mosley. I think they're going to show up and play really a physical football game. Am I right on that?
Yeah, I mean, I don't think our kids doesn't. When we came in Monday, they were all in the weight room waiting for me. I mean, I think they're ready for the matchup. I think they feel like they can play with them, this year. And so I don't think our kids are going to be. I don't think they're going to be intimidated or anything like that. And Coach, I mean, you coached a lot longer than me. I mean, once the ball kicks off, it becomes a football game. I mean, you gotta go out there and you gotta execute on offense, tackle on defense, line up right. And we think when we get into the football game, we've got we've got just as good a chance as anybody else to get out there and compete with these guys. And we got 2 more days of preparation, and we got to really take advantage of those days. But no, I mean, our kids we're not gonna come out and intimidated. I'm not. I've been coaching too long to let that happen. I mean, we're gonna come out ready to play, and we're gonna do our dead level best to make it a really physical type of football game, the type of football game that we like to play.
Well, Jeremy, I'd like to tell you that I'm glad you're back in Bay County. I thought you did a wonderful job wherever you've been, and I love the way you treat the kids. You're a great football coach. You're a better person, and we're fortunate to have you back in Bay County. It's going to be a huge football game. Tommy Oliver, what time? 7 o'clock?
Yes, sir. 7 o'clock.
Real quick, the best way to get tickets. Are you the home team or is Mosley?
We're the home team.
What's the best way we get tickets?
You can go on GoFan. We will be selling tickets. We will be selling tickets at the gate as well. We're going to do for this game. We figured there's going to be so many people. We're going to do the GoFan, and you'll have the capability to buy some. To buy them at the gate as well.
All right, buddy. Good luck to you. We'll talk to you next week, Coach. Thank you.
All right, thanks, guys.
All right, that's going to be a big one, Brian.
Yeah, it is.
Huge
And,
football game.
the fact that they threw the ball that well.
Yeah.
Mosley's not going to be able to stack that box. They're going to have to respect that. That should open some things up. That's going to be an interesting game.
Two really well coached football teams.
Yeah.
This could be one of these old time Bay County crowds that we should pack this thing out this Friday night.
Old slobber knocker.
Yeah, it's going to be a great one. Two great programs going after each other. All right, let's talk about some other great things like Dr. Chad Mitchell, 23 years on the Bay County sidelines. Nobody does a better job than Chad Mitchell. If you got any type of injury, go see Chad. Bay Point Golf, you love golf. There's only one place to go. That's Bay Point, Ron Mulvey being here Friday. Hey, I missed you. 75-cent wings, that Cajun place.
I know.
Oh, my God. Hey, it came up a storm like you wouldn't believe. People still running through the weather getting in there.
Oh, yeah.
The afternoon was unbelievable, but lunchtime, the weather was so bad. 75-cent. Yeah, I said it. 75-cent wings. That Cajun place, you can't beat that anywhere. They got the beer specials, everything going on. Great food. Go try it every time. This Saturday, this Sunday, 75-cent wings. Rick does a great job down there. I haven't seen Jana and Trudy lately. I haven't seen them since I've been there. I got to look at them. I bet they'll be at the LSU FSU game though.
Oh, I'm sure.
I would be
I'm
I'd be
sure.
shocked if they're not. All right, we'll be right back. 104.3 ESPN Northwest Florida.
ESPN Northwest Florida is your touchdown headquarters for the Mosley Dolphins and the Auburn Tigers. Plus, premier college and NFL games. Your source for the most live football on the Gulf Coast in a rich audio experience. 102.1, 104.3 in the ESPN Northwest Florida app.
Great design is timeless, and that's why Tracy's Fine Jewelry inside Coin and Bullion Reserves offers a stunning selection of vintage, antique, estate jewelry on sale now at 40% off. Exquisite Victorian rings, Art Deco diamond brooches, Georgian and Art Deco bracelets, earrings, and pendants. These one-of-a-kind pieces add personality to any ensemble, and now at 40% off. Find your timeless treasure at Tracy's Fine Jewelry inside Coin and Bullion Reserves.
Hi, it's Coach James Hale. Keeping your car looking great is easy as 1, 2, 3 at Blue Sky Express Car Wash. By joining their monthly wash club, you'll get the best bang for your buck. And just 2 car washes, your monthly membership pays for itself. Don't miss the summer deal where all your monthly memberships are 50% off on your first month, starting at $9.99 a month. Become a member today at Blue Sky Express Car Wash on Bat Beach Road, right next to Home Depot. Tell them Coach Hale sent you.
That boot store is having a big sale on select clothing, including shirts, jeans, jean shorts, jackets, ball caps, and coats. You know a sale at that boot store is something special. So don't miss out. That boot store, next to Billboard Key on 15th Street in Panama City. Open Tuesday through Thursday, 9 to 5. Friday and Saturday, 9 to 5:30. Remember Joe's motto, always keep Jesus in your heart. That boot store.
War Eagles. Coming this September, another year of live play-by-play with the Auburn Tigers. Now back to the J. Michael Studio. It's the Coach James Hale Show on 104.3 ESPN Northwest Florida.
And welcome back to 104.3, 102.1 Mariana, 104.3 ESPN. And later on there'll be another one, so we can't tell them yet. We'll tell them later.
Okay.
We're getting everywhere. We're just growing, spreading out, just like Dr. Ward. I think he's got an office in Mobile now, Birmingham, New York, Las Vegas. I don't know. Dr. Ward, how you doing this morning?
I'm doing great, guys. So we're on in Mariana now, too?
We are on. Yes, sir.
102.1 Point one.
You know, I got an office up in Mariana.
You got offices everywhere.
Somehow or other, I knew that. Yeah.
Hey, that's what happened. You graduate from Florida, you're highly intelligent, you're highly successful. We got him on right now, Dr. Ward. That's proof right there. Dr. Ward, I want to go over a couple things with you, then I'm going to turn it over to you. We're 3 days away. Number one, are you going to the game or you got something else planned this weekend?
I'll be going to the game. I catch most Florida season openers.
All right. What about now? You're going to miss a lot of games. You all kick off what time? 6 or 6:30? I think it's 6:30.
We're a 6 o'clock kickoff.
6 o'clock. Okay. And that's on ESPN. ESPN. The big game. Gators are underdogs by 2.5. We'll get in that a little bit later. But I want to get into something else real quick. SEC potential upsets for every team in the SEC. Let's start with the Florida Gators. Let's see what you think about this. They think that school that Florida's going to be favored over, but they think they're going to lose, will be the Florida at FSU on November 25th, which is a Friday. A Friday.
Oh, boy.
What's your thoughts on that?
Yeah, I love it. The Duquesne game as a real game. I mean, you might as well play like, Sleepy University. But I like that Florida State gets to bookend their season with losses to the SEC.
Ooh, okay. All right. Let me go through the rest of these for everybody else out there. Vandy. They got Vandy losing to Northern Illinois on September 17th. I think Alabama lost them one time. I think they lost one time when Mike Shula was there, that school. So, anyway, that one, who knows? I think Vandy's a lot better.
That prediction was made. Hey, that prediction was made way before Vanderbilt showed up and spanked the Rainbow Warriors at home.
They look good. That quarterback's the real deal. All right, Missouri. I could see this happening. Missouri, they got their getting upset by Vandy on October 22nd. That would not shock me. Yeah, that would not shock me. All right.
Vandy is going to scare some people. I'm kind of nervous about Florida's trip to Nashville. It's the weekend before FSU. You can't overlook that game anymore.
Hey, Clark Lee said he was going to build the best team in the conference.
He sure did. And I tell you what, when you got a quarterback that can run and throw, that's going to keep you in ball games. And this kid can do it all. He's a special player. All right, Mississippi State this Saturday. Memphis, they say they're going to get upset by Memphis. Now, this would not shock me.
We lost like 3 out of the last 4 against Memphis.
And they do that to Ole Miss. They've done it to Southern Mississippi. Memphis does it really well against the Mississippi schools. What do you think, Doc? You think that's going to happen?
Oh, yeah, I could totally see them losing to Memphis. Yep.
All right. Our next school up, Kentucky. They have Kentucky getting upset. I don't know if this is upset or not. It depends on how the season plays out. But they got Kentucky losing October 15th to Mississippi State.
Is that a away game?
I think it's a home game for Kentucky.
Yeah, and that's been a pretty nasty rivalry, honestly. There have been some good close games in that rivalry, so I'm not sure on that one. Maybe.
Yeah. I'm not sure about that one. What do you think, Doc? I don't know about that one.
No, not at home. I think Kentucky's pretty consistent at home.
All right, now this one I don't know if this would happen or not. Ole Miss. They're getting some love for Vandy. Ole Miss will lose October 8th. They will be upset by Vandy.
Maybe.
You think maybe? What do you think?
Sounds like a good day for me.
If it happens, it does. I'm with you there. I know what you're talking about.
I'd make a few phone calls that day if that happened.
Now, I do think this team's going to be really good. I think Arkansas is going to have a really good football team. I don't know what their winning record is going to be, but they're going to be pretty good. The quarterback's back. Sam Pittman does a great job. The kids love him. But they've got him getting upset November 19th by the Ole Miss Rebels. Will that happen, Dr. Ward? It's a home game. I believe it's a home game.
Home game for who?
Arkansas.
It could. I'd pick them losing an away game to someone, but yeah.
Okay, I think that's going to be tough.
The game they need to worry, and I know Doc will chuckle a little at this, but because of the whole package of it, of traveling out west and the altitude and this or the other, the BYU game for Arkansas is scary.
Yeah,
Hey, I like that pick, actually.
Yeah.
I think that's a really good pick.
Yeah.
That they might get upset. BYU was a pretty good team last year, and they return, according to ESPN, they return more offensive talent production-wise than any other team in the country.
Right.
And aren't their players older than most teams because they have to do some kind of
Sometimes when they go on their mission work
they
and,
come
and
back?
stuff
Yeah,
like that.
yeah. So they're always good. I got a lot of respect for that program there. All right, we already talked about Florida, FSU, Auburn, the Auburn Tigers. They've gotten rid of the athletic director. They've got rid of the president. Who's next to get rid of? Anyway, Auburn, they had them losing, getting upset by Missouri September 24th. I believe that's at Auburn.
It's after that big emotional game against Penn State, so there could be a letdown. I mean, either way, if they lose against Penn State, you could definitely see it. If they beat Penn State, there could be an emotional letdown. So, I mean, that'd be a good one. I don't think it's going to happen, but that'd be a one I could see.
Doc, what do you think? What are the odds? Maybe. You wouldn't put money on it, would you?
I'd take Memphis over Mississippi State before I take that one.
There you go. I'm with you. All right, South Carolina. Here we go again. South Carolina versus Vandy, November 5th. They got Vandy upsetting South Carolina.
They like Vandy, too. They got a lot of Vandy.
All of a sudden, Vandy's everywhere. I'm not sure about that one.
I've told you for months.
Anytime you got a
I
quarterback,
am not bought in on South Carolina this year. I'd love to be proven wrong, but I don't see it. So I could definitely see this happening.
All right, let's go to the next one. Texas A&M at Mississippi State, October 1st. What do you think, Doc?
I don't know, man. That A&M team's going to have a lot of talent. They shouldn't lose that game, but who knows?
Desmond has them win the national championship.
Mississippi State is scary for anybody because of the system they play, but you got to remember, State beat Texas A&M last year in College Station. That'll be fresh in those players' minds. I have a feeling A&M is going to want a lot of revenge in this game. So,
all right. Tennessee Volunteers are going to get upset by Missouri at home on November 12th. I say no. I think Tennessee's going to be pretty good.
The only way that happens is Tennessee could be the second best team in the East this year. It also could spiral horribly out of control.
That's true.
And so if that happens and they drop a couple of early games and the air is out of the balloon, they could lose a game like this against Missouri. But if that's the case, I'm not sure it'd be an upset by then either. So
right. Does Missouri
especially after Florida boat races them at the end of September?
To be honest, that's the best pick because I have a feeling, and whether it should or shouldn't, Doc, we can certainly discuss, but I have a feeling Florida will be the underdog against Tennessee in Knoxville, and I do think Florida could very easily go win that game.
That means Florida would have to lose to Utah.
Remember, the game's in Knoxville. Tennessee's going to be undefeated.
Yeah.
I think Florida will be an underdog in that game. Whether they should be or not is different. I just think they will be.
All right, LSU. I could see this happening. Now, y'all laugh at this one, but I definitely can see this happening. LSU will lose at home to Alabama Birmingham on November 19th. Alabama Birmingham's done that before. They've gone in there. They got a good football coach.
Troy certainly.
Yeah.
That late in the season, I would say no. If that game was in September, I'd like it a little better.
What do you think, Doc?
I think if that happens, then Brian Kelly may get on a hot seat.
Maybe dancing his way out of town.
All right, here we go. The mighty, powerful Georgia Bulldogs. Can anybody stay on the field with Georgia this year? They're at South Carolina on September 17th, and they say turn out the lights is over. South Carolina takes care of business. They upset Georgia Bulldogs. Will that happen, Dr. Ward? Will it happen?
Not a chance.
I'm with you.
I mean, it is at South Carolina, and that's a good environment. But if Georgia's going to lose a game this year, to me, the game they might lose is Kentucky.
Yeah, okay. All right, the mighty Crimson Tide of Alabama will go down on October 1st at Arkansas. Doc?
I don't see it happening. Bryce Young's just too good. He's going to have weapons all over the field. It would have to be a team that just can match talent for talent. And Alabama would have to have a down day, and that team would have to have an up day. It's not Arkansas. That is not the team to do it.
If Arkansas didn't play A&M the week before in what's going to be a very physical game, I'd say more likely. But, Coach, you know the game I'm worried about for Alabama.
I'm with you.
Tennessee.
I'm with
That's
you.
the game that scares
100%.
me.
Ole Miss bothers me a little bit, too, because it's in Oxford. But I am concerned about Tennessee, Alabama, because it's hard to beat somebody 17, 18 straight years. All right, Doc, we got to take a break real quick. Doc, tell everybody what's the best way to get up with you. I know skin cancer, 1 in 5 develop it. We can't play around with it. How do we get up with the legendary Dr. Ward?
Just give us a call at 233-3376. You can reach us at one of our 8 area convenient locations. We are in Panama City, Port St. Joe, Panama City Beach, Santa Rosa Beach, Water Sound, Defuniak Springs, Bonifay, and Mariana, where you can listen to us on 102.1.
Man, you got it right. You got it right the first time. Dang.
He's a pro.
I still can't get it right. Great job. Hey, Rudy's Barbecue on Bat Beach Road. You want the best barbecue? I'll tell you what, Brian, I'll tell you right now. Try the turkey. Turkey plate or turkey sandwich, you'll love it. Now, Lorelei loves the grilled chicken there.
Hey, I've got a new favorite there, too. That loaded baked potato
Woo,
is
baby.
scary good.
Everything's good. You can you can go watch game day there. The 11 o'clock kickoff, 2:30 night game. They're open all day long. All 3 meals. Go try it. You'll love it. Ethan Boyd does a great job. Rudy's Barbecue on Bat Beach Road. Blue Sky Express Car Wash. You want your vehicle to look brand new? Go check it out. They do an incredible job. We'll be right back. You're listening to 102.1 Mariana and 104.3 ESPN and Dr. John Ward's radio network right here. We'll be right back. 104.3. .3 ESPN Northwest Florida is the Panhandle's destination for the Atlanta Braves.
Got him swinging strike 3.
Ozzie Albies, Austin Riley, Ronald Acuna Jr. and the Braves are back.
Unbelievable.
And hungry for more. Listen to the world champion Atlanta Braves on a world champion radio station.
Rosario knocked the living daylights out of it.
104.3 ESPN Northwest Florida.
Good Wednesday morning. Showers at thunderstorms in the forecast for today, tonight, and Thursday. A blend of sun and clouds during the day. Partly to mostly cloudy tonight. The high around 90, the low around 77, and the winds generally from the south at 10 to 15. Water temperature in the Gulf, 87 degrees. This weather forecast has been brought to you by Earthworks of Northwest Florida. For 104.3 and 102.1 ESPN Northwest Florida, I'm meteorologist Tim Root.
Dear past, present, and future football watchers, you know why we're here. The football season is back! Woo! That means those pregame barbecues with an ice-cold Pepsi? Totally back. Your perfectly placed football-watching corner seat back and comfy as ever. 18 Sundays of touchdown scoring, Hail Mary throwing, ice-cold Pepsi flowing football action. You better believe it's back. And since that's too amazing to miss a single second's worth, Pepsi is officially giving you permission to always put football first. And when we say always, we mean always. Like when your lawn is looking less like a lawn and more like a jungle. If the game's on, then the lawnmower ain't. And those gutters you haven't cleaned, today is not their day. Or maybe those in-laws are back in town. Well, better hope they're football fans because your Sunday is completely booked. Long story short, crack open a Pepsi and don't let anything get between you and your football watching. With love, Pepsi, made for football watching. That's what I like.
Refilling here. If you can't take the heat, stay out of the kitchen.
Nick Saban can kiss my...
Uncompromising sports talk lives here. Now back to the J. Michaels studio. It's the Coach James Hale Show. On 104.3 ESPN Northwest Florida.
And welcome back to 102.1 Mariana, 104.3 ESPN Northwest Florida. Dr. Ward's with us this morning. Huge football game. Utah versus the Florida Gators in the swamp on ESPN. Doc, let's talk about the game. Utah's got a great coach. Kyle Whittingham can get it done. He followed Urban Meyers. He worked for Urban. He's done a great job the whole entire time he's been there. He talked about the difficulties going across country playing like a school like Florida. You know, he said we got a quarterback back, we got a veteran team coming back, and they've been really they have not really done a lot of live work like they've done in the past. He has a veteran team, and he's done this in the past when he's had really good players. They know they can hit, they know they can play. He's kind of been a little bit safer with them than maybe other years. I get that. I understand becoming a coach. If you know they can do it, you don't have to beat them to death. But then again, you got to have them game ready. So he did mention they have not gone as live as much. I think Florida's probably taken the other way. New coach, new staff, getting them ready to play week 1. But Doc, talk about it. They're going to fly across country, come down here in a very hostile environment. As a matter of fact, I don't think those kids have ever experienced what they're going to face Saturday in the Swamp. The Pac-12, you don't have stadiums. You don't have the crazy fans like you do in Gainesville, the heat, the humidity. Only Gators get out of the swamps. What do you think? What's going to happen down in Gainesville?
Well, I think you're going to see two teams that are run heavy, coming in with oftentimes 2 tight end sets, and both teams are going to utilize their tight ends in the passing game too. I think you can see that going on a good bit. But Florida, even though we had a bad year last year, averaged 5.5 yards per carry. It was one of the actually best rushing years that we've had in quite a while. And all 5 of our offensive linemen are returning starters. Now, one of them was a starter at Louisiana, and then not a starter at Florida, but the other 4 were all starters. So I think you're going to see from Florida a continuation of a very powerful running attack, and I think it's going to surprise a lot of people the kind of offense that Billy Napier is bringing in, and the fact that he has players who can play that game already is going to be really good. Utah on the other side of the ball. I mean, last year we couldn't. So if we continue to not tackle, it's going to be a long day for Florida. So I think it's going to be a relatively high scoring game, just because I think both defenses are going to have a hard time containing the other offense.
Yeah, and he mentioned about – I brought that up for that reason, just like you got there talking about right there. I know Florida's going to get after it. I know they're going to get their guys. They're going to be a physical getting ready for this ball game, and he's taking kind of a different approach, not doing as much contact as they've done in the past with the veteran team there. Now, he said this is a great opportunity for Utah to go on the road and to go play Florida. A lot of, all the coverage of the game, national TV, everything else, and coming into the South. They used to recruit. They actually used to get players out of Florida. They didn't have as many as they used to get, but they used to get there. So they do come into Florida. This could help in recruiting, can help recruiting nationally if they go in there and beat Florida. He talked about Florida having an outstanding quarterback. He's really high on him. Thinks he's a really good ball player. He thinks he could be a top 10 pick. He has a ton of ability. Of course, we know he's 6'4", 240. Our guys have worked hard throughout camp, knowing we got Florida week 1, winter workout, spring football, summer camp. So they're pumped up. They're excited about coming across the country playing the Florida Gators, and I think the Florida Gators are going to be excited about playing them also. We're going to find out Saturday night, 6 o'clock, the Swamp, hot, hostile environment, night game. People all day long will be feeling pretty good drinking that swamp juice, getting ready for the game that night. I'm looking forward to that game now. There's so many good games at the same time. I gotta get somewhere there's a lot of TVs, because I want to watch Bama, I want to watch Florida, I want to watch all these ball games, and there's a lot of games being played at the same time I want to watch. Go ahead.
I think the difference in this ball game is the fact that it is going to be a 6 o'clock kickoff, 7 o'clock Eastern time, but 6 o'clock Central, 6 o'clock kickoff night game in the Swamp, and where you're going, and I know Utah's been practicing for this, pumping up lots of noise and all that, but there is just no way to practice for that environment. And I'm sorry, but they did not see a single crowd last year at all.
Exactly.
This Utah team has never seen an SEC stadium. And that is where, especially in a running attack, when you can't hear what's going on, and you're trying to call out, the snap count, whatever. I mean, unless they're ready to go silent snap count, I think you're going to get penalties that mess up their rhythm, and you're going to see a close game. But I think at the end of the day, Florida wins. And there's history with this. So Florida has the nation's longest home season opening streak. They've won 32 consecutive home openers. And interestingly enough, the last time they were an underdog in the season opener in the Swamp was against number 7 Houston in 1969. And at that time, an unranked Florida team won 59-34, going on to a 9-1-1 season. So I think there's some history behind Florida here as well. Now, I don't think we're going to beat them bad. I think it's going to be a really, really close game where the home field crowd gives us the win.
Well, he talked about what you just mentioned. He talked about we've done everything to prepare for the noise. We've even done anything we can to prepare for the temperature. I don't know how he can do that, heat and humidity. I don't know how he's doing that, but he's trying. So he knows all these things you're talking about. And communication, he talked about that, how that's going to be difficult with the noise and all this kind of things. They also, which I thought was pretty sharp of him, it tells you what a kind of great coach he is, we also prepared for weather delay. That's, a lot of people don't even think about that. I liked when he said that, weather delay, because you're pumped up, ready to play. You play a ball game, and then it could be an hour and a half before you play again. So they've worked on about everything you can work on. They're going to be ready to go. But Doc, just like you said, man, they hadn't seen a crowd like this. You there?
I'm here.
Okay. Sorry. I thought something happened. He also said it's tough getting ready for Florida because, they're looking at a lot of stuff that Billy Napier did at Louisiana, watching his offense, his defense, and things like that. Where he comes to Florida, he might change. He might have a couple wrinkles. He might change some things up because of personnel. He might change some things up because of new coordinators. I don't think he brought both of them with him. I can't remember, to be honest with you. So, it's week one, communications on the sideline with one another. A new coaching staff, though. Florida's got a brand new coaching staff. They got a lot more to learn from one another than Whittingham at Utah, because they've been together all this year. So it's going to be a great game. But you said one thing that made me think. I think the difference in the ball game is going to be, if it's like you're talking about close, getting after each other, run the ball, physical football game, it's going to come down to the kicking game. Who makes a mistake in the kicking game could determine the outcome of the game. If Florida can block a punt, if they can block a field goal, if they can run a kickoff back, a punt back, something like that, the big play in the kickoff coverage or whatever, that could be the difference in the ball game. I think I'm going to go with Florida, upset them when I pick tomorrow. I just think, like what you said, Doc, they're going to walk in here. That's a different place to play, man. That is a loud stadium. They're on top of you. I just wish it was like a 2:30 kickoff instead of night.
And the other thing in this game, and I promise this is going to happen for sure, and any Utah fans out there probably be mad, but our offensive line is going to totally dominate their defensive line. It may be vice versa when they're on the field, but I just don't see how they're not big. They don't have any big D linemen. I just see that being our O-line just running over their D-line, and I just don't see in the Swamp, in that environment, how at the end of the game when you are just, their defense is just gassed and getting gashed in a running game. I just don't see how you win that as the away team, and that's I think that's the difference in the game. That plus the home field advantage.
Yeah, if Napier can coach like I think he can, his staff can, and I just think team speed is going to be the difference. The speed Florida has all over the field, I just don't think they have it. I could be completely wrong. They look good against Ohio State. They moved the ball up and down the field. Then Ohio State woke up and it was turning out the lights. They couldn't slow them down. I just think the speed difference in the game is going to favor Florida.
And there will be at least one Anthony Richardson run, which will be a highlight reel over and over and over again Sunday morning. I promise you.
All right, Doc, we got 1 minute. Anything you want to get in today?
Hey, if you got something on your skin that doesn't look right or feel right, you give us a call at 233-3376 or toll free 877-231-3376. We are in 8 convenient locations: Marietta, Port St. Joe, Bonifay, Defuniak Springs, Panama City Beach, Watersound, and Santa Rosa Beach. So come and see us, and go Gators.
One question before you get off. Who's going to win the big high school football game, Bay or Mosley?
You know, I'm going to get in trouble no matter what I say, but I was impressed with Bay beating the pants off of Arnold. So I'm gonna pick the upset, and I'm gonna say that the new coach gets revenge on his old school and wins.
All right.
Tornado warning.
Forward
thinking,
got
Doc.
it, baby.
Forward thinking.
Thanks, Doc. We'll talk to you next Wednesday. Thank you, sir. Hey, you want
All right, y'all have a good one.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
See you, Doc.
You want to feel better, look better? Jason Kovaleski and Max Fit Sports Nutrition.
Well, he
Nobody
liked that
does a better
pick.
job. Oh, yeah. He'll definitely like that pick. He loves them tornadoes also. Newbies, 3 great locations. John and Charlotte do such a wonderful job. Love those people. Do a wonderful job. Newbies, 2 on the Curves, what the place to go watch all sporting events. You're listening to 102.1. I'll get it sooner or later.
Yeah, you will.
102.1 Marietta, all you great people up in Marietta, and the legendary 104.3 ESPN Northwest Florida. We get back, we got Alabama Crimson Tide.
ESPN Northwest Florida. We're the radio home of the Mosley Dolphins.
It's the Battle of Bay as 2 rivals collide. The Mosley Dolphins versus the Bay Tornadoes. Coverage on ESPN Northwest Florida starts Friday night at 6:30. Kickoff at 7. Mosley Dolphins football is sponsored by Southern Orthopedic Specialist, Panama City Toyota, Tavario Solutions, Gulf Coast Aquarium, Bear No Heating and Air Conditioning, Arboritos, Team MVP, Ellis Agency Insurance, First Federal Bank, and ESPN Northwest Florida.
Good Wednesday morning. Showers at thunderstorms in the forecast for today, tonight, and Thursday. A blend of sun and clouds during the day. Partly to mostly cloudy tonight. The high around 90, the low around 77, and the winds generally from the south at 10 to 15. Water temperature in the Gulf, 87 degrees. This weather forecast has been brought to you by Mid-South Lumber, the best little lumber yard in Panama City. For 104.3 and 102.1 ESPN Northwest Florida, I'm meteorologist Tim Root.
Sykes Concrete has been in business in this area since 1947, and 3 generations later, they're still going strong. See Sykes Concrete for dirt, sand, rock, and concrete. They can handle any size job from the smallest to the largest. Sykes Concrete pays CDL truck drivers some of the highest wages in Bay County, making $50,000 to $75,000 a year, including holiday and vacation pay, plus health insurance. See Hugh Sykes at Sykes Concrete, 8030 Highway 77, on the right, just north of Southport Elementary School.
Atlanta Braves play here. WGSX Lynn Haven, WTOT, W271DN Mariana. Powered by Pepsi. ESPN Northwest Florida.
Los Rancheros has been doing it right for 20 years. Los Rancheros brings a top-shelf dining experience to you with the opening of their beautiful new building. Watch all college and pro games on Los Rancheros' 14 large-screen TVs with great drink specials daily from 2 to 5 and during all the games. Los Rancheros, the place for live sports and great food on 23rd Street between Jenks and Harrison.
Put down your natural light. It's time for the Alabama Update. The Alabama Update, weekday mornings at 8. On the Coach James Hale Show at 104.3 ESPN Northwest Florida.
Roll Tide. Tell everybody this morning what I did yesterday. We went to El Rodeo Tequila Bar and Grill last night. Talked to Dave and all those wonderful people down there. We had a huge thing of fajitas, grilled chicken, pepper, onions, all that kind of stuff. The rice, the beans. Really,
you're making me hungry.
God, it was good. Now it was really good. Of course, Julie ate most of it, but it was really, truly good.
Great food down there.
Yeah, they do. Happy hour 4 to 7. Get down there, have a wonderful time. That's another place you can watch all the ball games at right there. I mean, heck, happy hour is right in the middle of the afternoon games. 4 to 7. El Rodeo Tequila Bar and Grill, the newest and best Mexican restaurant right across the street from the Navy base on Thomas Drive. Go check it out. They do a great job. Really like those people down there. All right, Stevenson Air Conditioning. Nobody does a better job than Stevenson Air Conditioning. Ryan Moe just called and said, hey, Stevenson Air Conditioning, they are number one, not even close. You know, Chad Mitchell got a brand new unit from them also. If you have any kind of problems, call them up day or night. They'll be out there to take care of all issues. Stevenson Air Conditioning. Alabama Crimson Tide. Will Alabama win it all over the Ohio State Buckeyes? Well, let's look into it. These are the reasons
home or away
Alabama will win the national championship. Number one, team focused. They are ready to go, baby. We've heard last year Nick Saban, Jeremy Pridgeon talked about quite a bit. He always would get in there and he was saying negative things about his team, trying to get them focused to do the right things. This year, it's kind of scary. Everything he says has been really positive. He's even bragging on defensive linemen, mentioning their names. He's talking about starting a freshman wide receiver. Alabama's focused and ready. They lost the national championship to Georgia, and they weren't too happy about that. They felt really down. They let their fans down, let themselves down, didn't play their standards. They're focused and ready to go. Number two, Alabama's got two of the best players on both sides of the ball in the country. Quarterback, All-American, Heisman Trophy winner. Going to probably break every passing record Alabama's ever had. And they got the outside linebacker, Will Anderson, which is a freakish stud. Started, Brian, day one as a true freshman. He starts at the University of Alabama. That's another reason Bama's got a great chance to win it all this year. Number three, the top roster in college football when it comes to being able to put pressure on a quarterback, to be able to cover wide receivers. They got the best pass rusher in college football. They got it loaded at the defensive line this year. They're going to rotate them in and out, keep them fresh. What's that do? It helps your secondary because the quarterback's going to be under pressure all day long. He's not going to have a whole lot of time to throw the football. He's going to throw bad passes, and the DB's going to pick them off. So they're loaded in those two positions. They feel really good about that this year. Number four, they have experience. Here we go, talking about the secondary again. They have experience at secondary. I think one of the big deals was Jordan Battle coming back and not going out early.
Those safeties are going to be able to ball hawk this year because of exactly what you just said. With the pressure the quarterback's going to be under, plays aren't going to have a whole lot of time to materialize. Some safeties can cheat up and they can ball hawk, and they're going to pick off some passes just because of the havoc that not only Anderson's going to cause, but Will Anderson's biggest fan in the world is Dallas Turner. Because he's going to free up a lot for him off the other side.
There's another one. Y'all going to be surprised. Number 41. Wait and see. All right. I do think that's huge, though, that Battle came back. He's the signal caller. He's kind of the quarterback back there, gets everybody lined up, makes the adjustments. He's a ball player. They've got some good freshmen, too, that's done some really good, nice job up there. You might see a freshman start in Alabama secondary. I don't know. He released the depth chart. I need to go back and look at that, but I'm just – other things I've been hearing. But anyway, Alabama secondary should be pretty good this year. And then number five, Brian, every time Nick Saban's had both coordinators back, offensive, defensive coordinators back, they've won national championships. They got them both back.